Very good. Very good.
I got a Biotex cup sitting in my other room.
What's that?
I got a green Biotex cup sitting in my other room.
Nice. I will give you a for that. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna make me get up and go get it now.
Yeah. So I know we are live early. We're gonna make this a little bit of our. You know what that sounds like, but it's off the screen. All I can tell you is that's ice. Oh, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Way to represent.
It's from your retirement party.
Yes. Very good. Dude, I have quite a few supplies left from my retirement party. Yeah. We ordered a lot. My family we go all out when we throw a party and make sure everybody has it. But hey, for those of you that are joining us right now, we got 15 people that are watching. And just to let you know, we went on live early because we wanted to be able to just shoot the shizite and just talk, man. For those that want to join early, I think we're going to start trying to have some, little giveaways maybe when you tune in. Have some little giveaways and to be able to, look, we already have them started. What's up, David? Yeah, man. So, I think we're going to do something like that. I think we're going to start doing this, get a little bit of chatter in. One of the things that we want to do is maybe have a little giveaway, man, for those of you that decide you want to tune in. Comment in the comment section. If you're not able to comment in the comment section, then you're going to, I don't know if it's signing on through YouTube. If you're watching through YouTube, David's watching through Facebook. So obviously he can chat on Facebook. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is bring up whatever you want to bring up. And also for anyone that joins up before we actually go live, then like Samuel. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, brother? For anyone that joins us and decides they want to join us live and just shoot the shit, then we're going to have some giveaways. I think it'll be pretty cool. Have something fun just for those that want to join in. One of the good things is I don't really get into politics a lot, Dan, but I'm very proud to say that San Antonio had their decision, and it's no defunding of the police. So all the money that's there is going to where it needs to go to include our ability to be able to do our job, and so it's great. It's a great thing. Like I said, I don't really get a whole bunch into politics or anything, but I was very proud of that. Hey, Josh, what's going on, brother? Thank you so much for tuning in on YouTube. That really helps me a lot. We're trying to, bring up the ratings on YouTube. I have to reach a certain amount of watch hours, and I have to reach a certain amount of oh, hell. Got my boy in the house. What up,
fellas?
Whoa.
Nice.
Senator, where the hell's my hat, man?
I don't know if it would go with that.
Come on, man.
Make it work. Bring one down to Waxahachie for you.
He's putting in a
nice
order.
That'd be nice. I like the new logo.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
I like it all.
Here we go with an alternate logo just to change things up a little bit. I've had the other logo for about the last 5-6 years. So, yeah.
What up, Stu? Thanks for tuning in early, man. God, I love that picture. That's badass. We got Andrew. What's up, Andrew? Thank you for tuning in early, man. And Josh says he's coming from Colorado, my dude. Oh, I love that place, man. Can't wait to go back. I told him I was going to call back up there when we made our way out that way, because I really enjoyed Colorado. It was really nice. And then we've got, where the hell's your mustache?
Is he talking to Joe or Trini?
Well, it's not me, because I can't grow one.
Well, Dan's got a mustache.
I got a nice mustache for everybody.
I'm glad you kept that. Everyone was talking about how much it, really, accentuated your glistening body in the sun.
I'm looking forward to it. Next time we show up to a tournament, dude, if your shirt isn't off by the time I get there, I'm going to have problems. Let's see. Sam says, as a retired officer, I can no longer recommend for anyone to pursue a career in law enforcement. The penalties for doing everything right and still losing now are just too high. Your thoughts? It's tough, man. I'm happy that we have young guys and gals that are still willing to answer the call. No different than our military. And I'm 100% don't know, how, for me, at least 23 years ago, how it would have been to come into today's policing. But it seems like I heard these stories when I first got on. These dudes always told me, like, hey, I don't know how in the hell you're doing it, man. Because I'm telling you right now, with all this GPS and all this kind of stuff, but I think everybody adjusts. But I do feel like, especially in San Antonio, Joe, you missed it, but I was really happy that they elected to not defund any part of our.
I did actually hear that. I was just in the background or whatever you want to call it. But I did hear you guys talking about that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Let's see here. David said, Joe, because he asked where the hell his hat was. Oh,
I'm off my game tonight. I should have caught on to that, Dave.
Where's
your mustache? I'm glad the mustache wasn't a requirement because I'd have never had a hat.
Zach's, if that's a Zach, I can't see the picture, but if that's a Zach that I know and love,
that's the Zach I know and love.
Jokes always miss the point. I'm just saying.
Well, he is wearing a flannel
and his beautiful family. All right, what's up, Andy? He's saying Dan, and he said, "There's a caterpillar on your face." Let's see here. We got.
We got to do something through COVID. I had we couldn't keep our beards, so I figured go with the mustache since I can grow it.
Yeah, let's see. We got Josh. You're 100% correct. We adapt, overcome, and keep doing our thing. That's what it seems like. I mean, it is definitely difficult especially now as a retired officer. I mean, it's not like I did 30 years, but 23 is a decent amount of time, especially in patrol and as a robbery detective. I've seen a lot of different transitions. And it definitely make it difficult. But, one of the things that always helped me was I always acted as if there was always a camera on me. So I think I would have been all right to a degree with the, the cameras and body cams. The problem is, when you get into that fight, you get into that chase and the aggressiveness comes out and you're doing what you need to do to survive. And then that's caught on camera. Perception can be painted that you're something you're not. You're just in the moment. And when people have never been in that moment, it's hard for them to understand, why you might be cursing, why you might be, a little more aggressive. You're try going to a range and doing a bunch of push-ups, get up and take a shot. I mean, your heart rate's going, man. And it's that's the way it is. So we all know what we're talking about. Didn't mean to get into it too much. It's me, Joe. Love you too. Andy.
I figured that's who it was.
See the caterpillar on us.
Yeah, that's a big thing. BC up in Minnesota. He always has some good comments about the stash.
So we got 5 minutes to go. Zach says, can't wait to see you gentlemen in Texas. He's talking about me, gentlemen.
Right there with him.
I know he's not talking about me.
My Canadian connection.
He never talks about me like that.
Figure out a way Canadians can make it without having to quarantine.
Don't tell anybody.
Drink those drinks that y'all drink. That'll kill everything in your body. And those ketchup chips that y'all bring down. Combine both of those, and I think your whole body will be cleansed. You'll be fine, Tyler. I know, one of the things we talked about, Joe, I don't know if you heard it or not, but we wanted to go live, give people an opportunity just to hang out, and to be able to talk a little bit and, before we actually get into the show. But one of the things I'd like to do is start to kind of work on, maybe a few giveaways, man, for those that tune in early, before we actually go live. We want to be able to, maybe give them a little something to tune in early and enjoy some great conversation and leave with a prize, before they leave at 8:00. So I think we're going to work on that here soon. All right.
That's a good idea.
Scott Block, catch up, cheer for all. Yep. So, hey, Dan, I know. God bless it. What kind of cup is that? Yes, I do like it.
2011 Police Memorial, Illinois.
Yeah, very nice. I like those cups, man. You don't have to get up and refill all the time.
No.
But then 2 of them and you're probably sleeping on the couch.
Not Dan. Not Dan.
That's what this is for.
Cheers to you.
What do you got? What do you got in that cup there, Trini?
Oh my God. Nice, Scott. Prizes like golf lessons from Joe.
Hey, here we go.
I'd be willing to show Scott how to swing a club. I'd be willing to show him a thing or two.
Oh my God, that's a good one. Well, we're gonna find out because Joe, when am I heading up there?
I think. What are you coming up the day before?
The day before. I'm gonna try to get around him.
You're coming out the 28th. The tournament's the 29th. I was working all day getting shit set up for that. So we're getting there. So
I'll tell you
how much room you got left in that tourney?
There's a couple of teams. The problem is this year we're doing it on a weekday. The first 9 years I did it, we did it on a Friday, and it seems to get more attention when it's the day before a weekend. People take off, then they got a 3-day weekend. Now it's on a Tuesday because I had to push it back because of protests and COVID, and we're not getting as many teams. But right now we're sitting around 30 or so. So typically we have 36 and a waiting list because I cut it off at 36 teams, but this year it's a little slower getting teams in. So we'll be all right, though. They're still trickling in.
We're going to be there to support. And Andy says long drive contest. I'll tell you what, when Joe does connect, that dude smashes. So no different than
you act like 9 out of 10 times I swing and miss. That's not true.
I'll miss the fairway.
Why are you being so aggressive about the golf comments?
Trini,
I didn't say that you swung and missed 1,000 times. I only saw you swing and miss a couple
4 times, 5 times, maybe.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I need to bring my driver. I'll bring my driver.
I'm excited.
Problem is, I'm not going to be able to play because I'm going to be running around like crazy that day.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a few hacks with you. I promise.
Yeah, that'll be good. I know. Let's see here. Sam said, in the 80s, we got 1 minute. Yeah. In the 80s, we all had mustaches. I think it was Tom Selleck's fault.
Yep. Hey, Joe, side note, I'm going to see if I can get a guy or two to come on down there and get in that golf outing.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Let me know. Let me know.
I'll have the day off, so.
Yep. Very good. I'll be there. So it's going to work. I think we're going to be ready to go live. We got a great show ahead for you guys. And like I said, we're going to make it a point to work on something for you guys who want to tune in earlier. All right.
Who was our first person on today?
Let's see. Who was the first person on? It was Zachary David. Yep. Zach. So I know we have I know what I've got for Zach. Unless
I might have something for Zach. It's not a bad idea, Trini. I like it.
Yeah.
Hey, Zach, how about a pair of batting gloves, my man?
Ooh.
Oh, nice, man.
Nice, Zach.
Got the silicone grip on them with the logo. Just got to make sure you show up in Texas.
Nice.
Oh, nice, man. I like
Dude, that is cool.
How much are you selling those for?
In Texas?
In Texas, yeah.
No, I think we're going to go 20 a pair in Texas. We're going to
20 pair.
We're going to take 5 off the top. Just to
Very nice.
Well, put me down for a pair, Dan.
Yeah, me too. That's
small?
Nice. Man.
Size small?
Can you medium? What size?
Hey, if I make them down to the golf outing, I'll bring them then because I actually use those for golf too.
Yep.
Somebody made fun of me because I had 2 gloves on when I played golf.
I swing with 2 gloves.
That's what I'm talking about. See?
I got to keep my hands intact.
I tend to hit the ball a majority of the time when I do that. What, Joe? What?
I guess that's my problem because I don't use gloves when I swing a golf club.
Let's go live. Y'all stay on the screen. I like that intro. That intro gets me all hyped up. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is the Elite Softball Podcast. We are coming to you now 2 times a week because we've got our tournament coming up here in Waxahachie, Texas. And we have got a great show ahead of you. So we are going to get the show on the road. But just to make sure you know, if you're interested, we're going to go live. We're going to attempt to go live about 15, 20 minutes earlier than when the show actually is scheduled to go live, just to have fun, mess around. We had a lot of great conversation. And the cool part was Dan McIntyre gave away these cool gloves to the first person that signed on, which was Zach. Zach's comment was nice mustache. And that Dan gave him, show him these gloves, man. He's going to have these in Texas, by the way, in Waxahachie at the tournament. These are smooth. Very nice, man. Man, I like those. And there's the grip. And if Joe uses those for golf, he's going to
never miss a fairway.
He's going to be dangerous. Hey, I'll tell you what, if you're tuning in, thank you so much for joining us. If you're on Facebook, cool. No problems at all. I appreciate you coming out. If you get the opportunity, please try to sign up on our YouTube channel, because all the watch hours and subscribers help me to get to a point where I can go live, and I want to stream, when we're at tournaments and things of that sort, but I can't do any of that unless YouTube sees that I have enough watch hours and enough subscribers. So if you guys can help me with that, I'd appreciate that. We are getting the show on the road. Let me just tell you real quick what you've got in store for you. We're going to be talking about the tournament info, of course. We're going to be going over the bat provided info. We're going to be highlighting the Chicago Windy City COVID Classic. We're going to have a few call-ins. It's going to be real neat. We're going to have a few call-ins. Some people, it's a new ability that we have on the show where you can call in on this number and then we're able to bring you on live on the show. So we're going to have a couple people that are going to be highlighting that feature. One of them will be calling in and asking a question to Joe Monahan about the specifics about the tournament. And another one's going to be calling in to let us know about the Home Run Derby. He's going to be helping us out with our Home Run Derby prize package. The last 30 minutes of the show, we're going to put that number out on the chat so that you can call in if you'd like to. If you don't mind, make sure you put what question you want to ask, and then we'll let you know by name to go ahead and give a call in. And that way we're not flooded with calls because I'm the one that has to answer them. So,
hey, Trini, I just noticed something.
Yes, sir.
What's that over your left shoulder right there?
Over my left shoulder. Ooh, you talking about right there?
Yeah, what is that?
So it's the Kid the Peace logo.
Is that a TV screen?
Yeah, it's a TV screen. That's my TV that's back there. It's a little.
I can see it was Keepers of the Peace. I just didn't know if it was a a print or if it was a flat screen.
No, actually, I'm glad you asked because that's where I'm going to be doing my Trinidad. I've got my personal brand coming out. It's going to look something similar to this cool brand that you see 2 people wearing. Hopefully, be 3 here soon.
Dan never includes me in anything.
I feel like I should drive one down to you right now.
And then we're going to talk about the conference here in just a little bit. Also, we also are going to go over the host hotel information because a lot of you have been calling up about the host hotels, and we're going to highlight 2 things in Waxahachie. One's called the Merchant Inn. This is a really cool place I stayed at, and then the White Rhino. And you want to know what the White Rhino is, and we'll get to it here in just a little bit. So we're going to go. Stu says, if I can get on, I'd buy a couple of pair of those sweet gloves. Yeah, very cool. But he says about my comment about golf, he says, I don't know about the 2 gloves. Sorry. Well, when you have hands like lumberjack hands, you don't need gloves. These things need gloves. Let's see. All right. Hey, all right. That's what I'm talking about. You're more than welcome to come on out, Donnie. Love to have that. And let's see here. Daniel Woods, what's up, fellas? What up, Danny? Here we go. Andy, technically, there's a fairway between the box and the girls' box in JMO. And then Andy says, Trini, shirts. Yes, we're going to be going over some good stuff here shortly. I promise you, Andy. So, all right, so let's get into this. Who am I? I am Trinidad, and I am a veteran of the United States Air Force. I was recently retired, 23 years in law enforcement, 2-time cancer survivor, a franchise business owner of biotechs, and a nonprofit founder of Shields for Kids. As far as police softball is concerned, I'm the coach manager of the San Antonio Law softball team. Won a couple of titles. We're Chevy Wright Sportsman of the Year, Pat Hill Inspiration Award winner, Texas Police Athletic Foundation, and PS.com Hall of Fame member. My partners that are with me today, we got Joe Monahan. I'm going to put Joe's Monahan up there. Joe is my friend. He's a coach of Missouri Lawmen. He's director of the Show Me Classic. He's a Louisville Slugger Masters Division coach, East Conference Manager of the Year, and the Texas Showdown Home Run Derby champ. And I'll tell you what, Joe, the reason that we continue to introduce each other is because there are a few people who have never tuned into the podcast that are going to be tuning in tonight. So I think that's pretty cool. So, and then we've got Dan McIntyre joining us. We'll throw Dan's up. Dan's the director of the Windy City COVID Classic this year. That's what he put on there. It's a 2019 NPSC Dale Pickney Inspiration Award winner. Cool. Law enforcement for 16 years. He races police cars for Special Olympics and does a whole lot more for Special Olympics. And he's the owner of Dynamax Sports Gear, which we're going to be highlighting here in just a little bit. So I'm excited. Let's get this show on the road. First thing we're going to do is we are going to talk about, that conference that we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. It's the Keepers of the Peace First Responders Conference. This is the international one. It's April 12th through the 14th, 2021 here in San Antonio, Texas, providing a badass conference with badass breakout sessions for police, fire, military, EMTs. But we are going to be everybody, corrections, federal, probation, parole. Man, come on out. We're going to adjust this flyer and we'll make it happen for you. So we'll talk about that later on. We'll get into the show. First thing we want to do is we want to talk about what you did here just recently, Dan. Tell us about your tournament, man, because a lot of people don't know about tournaments throughout the nation. A lot of people want to go on vacation and they want to be able to visit places. And Chicago, hey, great place. Tell us about your tournament, man.
Well, this year, as Joe touched on last episode, is that we had a curveball thrown at us real late into August. August 15th, actually, Illinois came down with a something from the governor's office stating that we weren't allowed to have tournaments in the state of Illinois anymore. So with that being said, I went out right away and looked for alternative venues. Actually reached out to Anthony Bonadonna from Chicago Metro, and we just started scouring Indiana. Didn't really have much luck, so threw a Hail Mary for the Football Reference, and the Gary South Shore Railcats were more than willing to have us there and actually took very, very good care of us. So we moved the location of the tournament from Schaumburg, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago, and moved it on down to Gary South Shore Railcat Stadium, which is a minor league stadium in Gary, Indiana. So if you can kind of picture this, you have from 330 feet in left field out to 320 in right, with 400 dead center, and I think about 390 into the alleys. And I mean, that's what the guys were hitting on and fielding with some stadium balls. And it made for some really interesting and fun softball.
Hey, real quick, Dan, sure. How about we cut to this video and it'll give everybody a feel for what you're talking about.
The video.
Check this out. That's right. Yeah. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I love that, dude. I'm telling you. So I'll tell you what, now they don't have to imagine. They got to see the field. They got to see, and you know what? You got a tournament, guys or gals, and you want to show off your tournament, man. Take some great videos, different angles, different action shots, some great, cool pictures, and then we'll highlight them on the show. But as you're talking, Dan, because we do have a call that's going to be coming in about, let's see here in about 10 minutes. So it'll give you an opportunity. Go ahead and keep talking, man, and we'll show some pictures here and there while you're talking.
So with that, you just saw the video. It pretty much explains what it looked like out there. One of the clips was a ball getting hit past our third baseman. I actually remembered it because I was yelling at him in a joking manner because there's no way he was getting to the ball. It was about 8 feet to the left of him. But I mean, that was a stadium. It was beautiful. It was about 78 to 82 degrees. A nice little bit of wind coming out. There's Corley right there down on the bottom. Nice wind coming out of the left field, and it just swirled around. So at first it was blowing out, and then it moved to blowing in. Excuse me 1 second. I got to say goodnight to my daughter. So, again, so it was a beautiful day at the ballpark, and things we talked about, my wife and I, as we were, actually, I'm going to touch on this. So Detective James Skirnovich, he was killed in the line of duty on 9/3, and we were able to reach out to the Railcats and get some of the photos that were sent to me by his teammates from Steel City, and we put them up on the video board all day with our other sponsors that we put up there and stuff, just to kind of highlight that in remembrance of him, because it is important for us to remember. Very cool. These things.
Absolutely.
So, we did do that, but getting back into the tourney, it was just a great day for baseball.
Go ahead.
Call. Okay.
No, you're good, brother.
So, with COVID going on, there's a lot of emphasis on wearing masks, social distancing, 6 feet apart. And this stadium gave us that opportunity. We didn't have to worry about families being too close to each other, commingling with people if they didn't want to. And they were able to spread out as far as they needed to, except for those two down in the bottom left. But
I love
that's
I love these
that right there on the bottom left is a Great Lakes tradition. That D Ward picks one guy out of his team and then has a tickle fight with him right before the game starts.
I never knew that.
I hope he extends it past his team, because I wouldn't mind D Ward jumping on me and having the tickle game. It'd be all right. I'm down for a tickle game, D Ward. That's cool.
That's funny. But anyways, we had 4 teams show up. We're slated for 8 at first in Schaumburg, and due to the sheer dynamics of running a one-day tournament in a minor league stadium where you're back to back to back, it was difficult to try and figure out 6. And I hate to say the word fortunately, but fortunately for us, the teams that did drop, it helped us a lot with the scheduling. I would have loved to have had those guys out there, but we all know with things going on with the world right now, it's just, family comes first, job comes first. And we completely understood that.
Just like your daughter coming to say goodnight to you.
Yeah.
Family's first, brother. I don't care about this show being live or not, man. That's cool.
Yeah. She would have sat here and talked with me too.
Yeah.
But I mean, I got to give a huge shout out to the Railcats. I hope that this podcast reaches them someday. Might be for me sharing it to them, but Dan Faulkner was the one I worked with directly, and he opened up the stadium to us for anything we needed: concessions, the clubhouse batting tunnel, the bathrooms in there were clean for us to use, and they were just so friendly. Even at the end of the night, the general manager and one of the staff members were helping me load up my truck so I can get out of there. I'm sure they wanted to leave too, but
cool.
they did get out there. The location, right off the highway. Granted, it was in Gary, but again, right off the highway, it was just it couldn't have been a better day.
Well, for those that are late, we're talking, to Dan McIntyre about the Chicago Windy City COVID Classic is what he called it this year. But it's just, the Chicago Windy City tournament that he has. And man, it's a really neat, just by the pictures alone and the video, man, what a cool complex to play in. And at a time like now, this is where I'm coming from, how important this is to us. Dan had teams that had to back out. And Dan did what I'd like to think, that everybody who's helped to put this tournament happen in Waxahachie, it's the same thing, man. We care about the game, but more importantly, the camaraderie and the guys within the circuit. And that's why, correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, but that's why you said, nope, we're moving forward. It's going to happen, even for those teams.
And that's exactly it. There were discussions about possibly postponing the tournament or canceling the tournament. And to me, that was a not in my eyes at all. That's not something I was willing to do. And then speaking with my teammates, we were able to make it work. Reached out to Joe Zintak from Great Lakes, and then Anthony again. I can't say enough about him helping out. He got us in touch for the players' party and got us the pizza and the wings donated there. So I mean, everybody chipped in, and like you said, it's a camaraderie. I only get to see the guys on my softball team 4 times a year in person, and I've only been in police softball maybe 7 years now, 8 years, and I absolutely look forward to it because these are my buddies, but I don't get to see them that often because we don't work with each other. We're not near each other. It's no different when I see Joe a couple times a year. Usually we're getting spanked a little bit, but it's good to see those guys. And
you put it on us once that first game, man. You guys put it on us. We only got 6 runs.
Yeah, you guys might have still been hungover, but yeah, it's. I can't speak for everyone, but that's my feelings. I love being out on the ball field. I told the guys I'd like to be more in just a coaching, managing role and not getting out on the field as much and being able to run the team. And I just love being around these guys. And that's one of the reasons that we looked at it.
You say you don't want to be on the field that much. I thought I saw you running center by half those games. You're out running the center field. On your birthday, your 40th birthday.
Yes, it was my 40th, and
Very nice. Happy birthday.
God willing, I didn't break my leg on a ball I went for. It
real quick, just before I forget, those photos that were shown in the clip, as well as that were being shown after the video clip. There's a player from Chicago Metro, Jacob Daubenmeyer. His mother, Rebecca, is. Who's pictured right there. She's the one who spent all day there and took tons of photos and helped us sent those over so we could have those for the show. And I really appreciate her doing that. And I'm sure everyone else that was there appreciates her doing that as well.
Thank you very much for doing that. We wouldn't be able to document it without that.
And she sent every coach a thumb drive with all the photos that she took. Cool. And I just got this today. Yeah. And I'm sure there's some 2,000 photos on there.
Yeah. Very cool.
It is cool.
One thing we're going to show before I know we get our first call from Kevin is this one. Now we got to talk about this dude because you got to be pretty damn confident in yourself, which I love because no different than I drink my margaritas and all my fruity drinks and everything. This dude's the same way, man. Just a real person. Very cool, man. What was the deal with the
I still have no clue why he wore those shorts. I have no idea why he chose to wear those. I never asked him. I just assumed that he was going to wear those during warm-ups and then put some pants or something on, but no, he wore that the entire tournament. There was a time it's when he slid into second base, I thought he was going to, there was going to be a wardrobe malfunction, but everything worked out.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's a guy on our team, Sal Hernandez. I'm pretty damn sure is going to make it a point to beat those shorts and see how short he can get with those. So, yeah. There she is. Thank you very much to do it. That's very cool, Rebecca. Thank you so much. Yeah, very cool. Well, I think we're going to be getting a call here shortly, but I do want to point out real quickly before that call comes in that hats we're wearing. It's Dynamac hats right here, or Dan McIntyre. They work both. They work for both. So, hey, got a call coming in. Give me just a second. All right. I want to welcome everybody to the show. Kevin Schock. You there, Kevin?
Good. Yeah. How you doing, Trendy?
All right, man. We're doing really good. We're throwing your picture up there with the sign of Garrett Metal Detectors up there because you've got a special announcement for us. But before that, Kevin, for a lot of people I got the comment earlier on the show about like, oh, well, I'm nobody in this, in this circuit, or people don't really know me. And man, that's the purpose of this show. Now a lot of people know you, but at the same time, we'd love to be able to just get a little background on who you are, Kevin. Let people know who you are, your history with the circuit, teams you play with, things of that sort.
Well, I started back in 2000 with called the Fort Worth Panthers. Back in that day, they had the Ford Series in Las Vegas, the Police Fire Games, which was really big, and we took a team there every year, and we did pretty good. And then in 2005, I founded Team Texas. And I stayed with Team Texas all the way to 2013 and retired. I have 20 years in law enforcement. I retired in 2014 from law enforcement.
Good for you.
And just been taking it easy ever since.
Yeah, very cool. Well, I'll tell you what, you take it easy, but you're in great shape. Because like we talked about earlier, every once in a while, people don't know this, but I'll go down and I'll peek through the side of the glass, and I don't want to go out to the pool. I wasn't in shape. But dude, you're ripped. You keep in great shape, man. Good on you.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Hey, well, I'll tell you what, you're here on the phone to be able to give us an announcement and something that you were willing to do for us, when it comes to the Keepers of the Peace, National Softball Championship. So, man, I'm going to let you have the stage. Garrett Metal Detectors has always been good to us in the circuit. I know they helped us out with the Texas Showdown. Go ahead, man. Let us know what people can expect in Waxahachie.
Well, what I did this year is I switched over to sponsorship. Instead of, since we're having no policesoftball.com, I got with Garrett, and Garrett was willing to sponsor the Keepers of the Peace tournament. So what we're going to do, we're going to keep in the same along the lines that we did with the Police World Series. We're going to start off, and we're going to sponsor a player party. I think we just need to nail down some details where it's going to be. And then we're going to stick along the lines of having the Garrett Home Run Derby contest.
Very nice.
And Garrett's going to do a whole prize package for the winner. And that still has to be determined what we're going to give for prizes.
Dude, I'll tell you, anything that they're going to do is always appreciated, man. They're always here to support.
Yeah, I've been a sponsor with them since 2005. Anything that I've asked them for, they have come full side and have given me everything I've asked for. So kudos to them. They're one of the greatest sponsors of softball I ever had.
I'll tell you what, I've seen them out quite often. And, Vaughn Garrett's the one that I know I spoke to when he helped us out with the Texas Showdown. And so I know when I spoke to him, man, they're really down to earth people, really good people. And what I will say is you see Garrett Metal Detectors everywhere. And one of the things, Kevin was like, hey, man, whenever I see one of their metal detectors or any one of their products, I'll take a picture and I'll send it to them. I'm going to make it a point also. I want them to know that we do pay attention and we do see that. And I think it's a great target audience, man. We're going to have a bunch of policemen there, but even at our conference, with all those first responders, I think it's going to be real neat if they were able to attend. And so I'm excited, man. And I'll tell you, Kevin, it doesn't happen without you putting the word out, man. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, what's really cool about Garrett, he's got a big warehouse. He's got a whole big room of treasures that he found around the world.
Yeah. You heard it here. We're talking to Kevin Schock. He has always been able to have this relationship with Garrett Metal Detectors that ultimately he introduced to the police softball world, and they've supported us ever since. So I'm super excited to be able to have them on board. I'm very appreciative. And so, hey, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you, Kevin.
Take care.
All right, brother.
Bye-bye.
All right. I don't know. Were we able to hear him all the way?
Not at the end when everyone came off the screen, you couldn't hear him at the very end. So I don't know what he said there at the end, if you want to repeat that.
Yeah, just that, they've always been a big supporter, always been a big sponsor. And so now, it's he's just as happy to be able to have them to come and help us out, because ultimately Garrett just wants to show their appreciation and support for us in law enforcement. And so that's what he's doing. But good note, we're a live show. And so when the next one comes out, next call comes through, we're going to, I have to stay on the screen. My lovely partner is telling me that I have to stay on the screen in order to hear him. So I'll make that happen. All right. So cool. Hey, you heard it. It's going to be cool, man. Let's see who we got. Jay-Z, great tourney, D-Mac. And thank you, Rebecca. She was out there all day long taking pics of every team. Very cool. Great job. Hey, and I'll tell you what, when somebody does something like that, they're not just snapping away. They're really thinking about what they're doing, because they really want to, give us something to take away from that and as a memory. So that's awesome. All right.
She made sure that she took a picture of every one of my outfielders that dropped the ball and when they dropped it.
Is that why we got 2 thumb drives? Sorry, Shane.
Oh, you got to drop Shane's name, man? Come on.
Hey, so I'll tell you.
He looked pretty good out there. I'm not going to lie.
Tell you what we're going to do is we are going to, so we got the home run derby now. We know that you're going to have a great home run derby. Make sure you bring a little extra money so you can join the home run derby. And then we've got the players party. So we don't know how extravagant that's going to be. It's not going to be we've had less than 30 days to make this thing happen. So, we're not exactly sure how that's all going to work out. I mean, who knows, man? We may meet in the parking lot of the damn fields and just have some chips and beverages.
We'll get it figured out, I think. I think it's going to turn out just fine.
Yeah, it could be a lot of pizzas. I don't know, but I think it's going to be great.
I think so. In the end,
yeah, I think so. So that's awesome. Thank you so much to Garrett Metal Detectors. Ooh, I like the hat change. So I'm talking about.
And jersey change.
Yes, very nice. Let me see it, man. Get closer. Dynamac. We're going to be talking about what Dynamac's going to be offering. Hey, why don't you go ahead and do that, man? Let's talk about Dynamac real quick. So that right there is Dan's company, Dynamac. And Dan, go ahead and tell us what you're going to be doing for the tournament. I know we're going to get into some tournament stuff, but we'll get this out of the way so that you can talk about what you're going to give, but then we can also talk about the registration process and things of that sort.
Sure. So, first off, thanks you guys for picking up the tournament this year. It's obviously devastating to all of us that Vegas isn't happening, and to have something to close out the year is great. I know I'm speaking for myself and my team. We're looking forward to getting one more tournament in. So as soon as I heard that, I reached out to you guys, and pretty much I just asked you what you needed, and we kind of came up with the idea of let's do some team uniforms for the gold and the major winners of the respective divisions. So that's what we're going to do. Depending on how that runs, if there ends up being a silver division, which again I don't know how the bracketing is going to work out, I'm going to do team gloves, batting gloves, very similar to any one of these, but they'll be completely custom for that team. Nice. And that'll go to the silver division winners.
Nice. That was another surprise, dude. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah,
silver division is going to be. That's one of those things that allows teams to show up and go, look, man, if we just happen to just suck and everything goes bad in the double, but we get new life, man. Let's make this happen. I mean, that's such a great feeling for a team. We've been there. And it's like, all right, man, we get new life now. And everybody seems to be a little more relaxed and they tend to play better. And you end up having some great competition in the silver division. I don't know, Joe, if you've seen that, in your silver divisions, but it seems like all the tension's gone now. And it's like, well, the hell with it, man. Now we're here. Maybe have a little drink and then let's just have some fun. And everybody seems to do better.
To me, when those brackets work themselves out, it always seems to be great competition. Basically teams end up sometimes where they end up, and the competition in a drop down bracket is just as good because the teams are on the same. I don't want the same level. I guess you got the gold teams that drop down from a main bracket, the major that's continue in the main bracket, in the upper bracket, and it's where guys belong, I guess. Teams belong, and it makes for great competition because of that.
Yeah, and sometimes.
Go ahead, Trini.
Well, I was just going to say quickly that sometimes, you may not show up with all your guys and you're just showing up to support the tournament. Or sometimes, your starters, maybe 3 or 4 of your starters could make it. And now you're going with, your second or your backup guys. And, it's just one of those things where it makes it fun that the teams that aren't up there in the tip top of the divisions that are going to more than likely show up with everybody, they can go into a tournament going, well, if all else fails, we can, we got a shot at this. And when you have somebody like Dan with Dynamac that's willing to step up like he did, Terry Dugan just came on. I want to say what's up to Manny, my boy's recovering from his knee surgery. And
how'd that go?
He went well. He's dude. I don't even want to talk about it. It makes me worry. He's out there moving. He has to move around. I get it, but damn, it scares me. Terry Dugan, what's up, man? Thank you for joining us, Terry.
What's up, Terry?
Got here a little late, but Terry also is one of those guys that showed up immediately and said, "You tell me what you need. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to make this happen." And I'm going to tell you, man, the guys on the screen, Terry Dugan, these guys are the type of guys initially said, and Benji initially said, "Hey, man, whatever we need to do, let's make it happen." And that's what made me feel comfortable about moving forward. And then Joe and Dan and everybody else. So Terry, thank you so much for making me feel comfortable enough to just go ahead and, go with this thing and make it happen with everybody that's been working with us. So we've got Terry says, "Doing good, should be fun. Looking forward to seeing everyone in your lovely better half."
to touch on something that Dan said. So he brought up the different brackets and stuff. And at this point, we still haven't determined what kind of brackets, how it's all going to play out at this point. We're hoping by the end of this weekend that we have a solid number of teams that we can count on. There's still some that are tentatively yes, and I know that there's some teams that told me they'll let me know by the end of the week, so probably tomorrow, Saturday. And I'm hoping by Sunday, which I think we're going to be doing another podcast on Sunday, we have a solid number of teams that we know are going to be there. And then at that point, then we can start making decisions on how the brackets are how that all is going to play out.
So so that's good. And what we'll do is we'll flash up on the screen real quick who we've got, who's going to the tournament. And so there are the teams right there. You have paid by the ones that have paid. We've been getting a lot of payments in here recently.
We've got about half the teams have paid, about 14 out of the, I think 33 or something teams that we got on the list.
Yeah.
So about half the teams have paid. And there's, like I said, there's some that are still, tentatively yes, but not sure. Hopefully in the next couple of days we hear from them. There's a couple teams on the list that you see, like the Stanislaus and State 48 combo and SoCal combo, a couple teams that, they couldn't get enough of their guys together, but they were able to combo up with another team and who was shorthanded as well. And it's still that, they're still following the 2-state rule, even though they're comboing up. And, there should be some good competition, I think, in this tournament.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you that we have a caller that's going to be calling in here soon. And then when he calls in, he's got a question. I think it's going to be able to be something that, we'll be able to discuss. So John Irvin says, is there a cutoff date for teams to commit? I'm going to take a little, this is really more of Joe's area, but I'll just say that, man, I mean, we understand the situation. We understand how things are developing and everybody's trying to scramble and figure things out. So Joe, I'll let you answer, but what I'll just say is I think that if I have somebody's word, if somebody says, hey, look, man, we're going to be there. We're working it out. We're trying our hardest. That's cool. We'll put you on the tentative list. But, man, if you say, hey, we're scrambling, and just give us heads up, go, hey, man, I'm still trying to make it happen. Give us, I don't know, Joe, what would you say? What would be a cutoff point that you would feel comfortable with one or two teams that's saying, hey, I'd like to get in. It's the last second.
Ideally, I would like to have everyone either yes or no, one way or the other, no by the end of this weekend. That would be the best case scenario. I know that probably won't happen, and there may be a couple still on the fence at that point. My thought is maybe, I'd like to have. I don't want to set a date, but I'm just hoping that everyone that's listening knows that maybe try to get that decision made one way or the other by Sunday, if possible. If not, I understand it. Hopefully, it doesn't take much longer than that. But I understand there's things you guys are trying to work out with travel and hotels and players and time off and stuff like that. So I know that takes time. So if you need a few extra days, I think that's fine. But if the majority of the teams can get in either get payment in or let us know that, yes, you will be there, that'd be great.
Yeah. And I think that's the key. Communication's the key in everything. So just, let us know you're still trying to make it happen. And then we can consider it as we're making brackets. But ultimately, we'd like to have a really good feel, by, like Joe said, by the end of the week. So we've got, let's see here. Steven, that's what I'm talking about. I love that picture, man. You had to be sweating in that bad boy. I've been there. I've been on 24-hour call outs and things like that. He says, hey, fellas, appreciate what y'all are doing for the first responder softball world. We appreciate you, Stephen. You're also a great representative with your respective company and representing us as first responders also, man. So thank you. Jimbo Joseph says, the Mac Danny. I like that. Let's see. Metro Dogs 8. Thanks for making this happen, fellas. Do the fields have cages or a place to hit BP? So we talked about that in the last podcast. And this is why I tell everybody, man, if you're listening right now, please get somebody from your team, or if you know that there's not a team that's tuning in, communicate to them the link to this YouTube channel. They get so much more information from what we're talking about on this than you ever will on that message thread, especially because we have very limited time. This is the best way to put on information. So we are going to get into those hotels also. Hotels, everybody's been asking about those. So let me see here.
Getting to his question, we can, to answer that question though, I don't know that there are cages there. You played there before.
No,
I don't know that there are cages, but I do know that there are several soccer fields and open areas to hit.
Yeah.
Being weekdays, I don't think there's going to be an issue with anyone playing soccer on those fields. It's not a weekend, so there shouldn't be any conflicts there.
Yeah. So on that note, I will tell you, if you Google Earth it, you'll see that it's a sports complex. So there are open areas. I won't say that every team can show up, but like every other tournament, I mean, the earlier you get there, the better chance you're going to have at an open field. I do know we have a call coming in. I know it's going to be here soon, but this question's coming up. So Joe, don't get too crazy into it, but how are teams going to be predetermined for seeding purposes? West Coast teams haven't played ball like the East Coast has. So will that affect that decision?
As far as the seeding, if you're talking about seeding from pool play into bracket play, we're basically, the thought is that we'll to set up the little groups for pool play. You'll snake the teams based on where we think they rank at this point, and then after pool play, the results from pool play will determine where you're seated in the respective brackets. If that's how if we end up doing two brackets or drop down bracket or whatever, you're going to be seated based on your pool play results. And I think that answers Scott's question. If you put that back up on the screen, I don't know if there's a second part to that question or not. Yeah. So as far as the West Coast, I understand the West Coast hasn't been playing as much as the East Coast.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. I'm still getting used to this. Do me a favor. We're gonna take this call right now because it came in, and I want to be able to introduce this person to the podcast. His name is John Savage. You there, John?
Yes, sir. How you guys doing?
That's what I'm talking
Good,
about.
John. How you doing?
Hey, so we are excited that you called in, man. So John is the manager of NorCal Degenerates. They've been in the circuit for about 5 to 6 years, and they had their 4th year in the World Series appearance. And so I know John had a question earlier today, and I said, "Hey, man, why don't you try out this this new feature that we have on the show? Call in, ask your question, let us answer it." So that's what John's getting ready to do. Hey, John, real quickly though, how did your team start, man?
We started years ago. Most of us worked together in the Oakland Highway Patrol office, and we were playing just some small tournaments. Our association runs a pretty big tournament, and we started doing that. And then I got turned on to the Lake Tahoe tournament that Free Softball was running.
Ooh, I like
And so
that.
we kind of jumped into the circuit, and then we started out as a all chippy team, and we've just kind of grown since then, and have some TOs on the team now, so we're not that single organization team anymore, but it's been a good ride so far.
Well, I know that you mentioned earlier, you're like, you know, when I asked you to call in, you're like, man, I'm not like really anybody in the circuit or anything, but that's the point to this podcast, man. This video podcast is to introduce people who you may have heard about, or, you know, maybe you've seen them pop up here and there on the message board, but now we get an opportunity to meet each other. That's the whole purpose for this. So we appreciate you calling in. John, what was your question earlier? And then we're going to let Joe answer it.
What's up, Joe? So just
John.
real quick, I mean, I'm sure you guys are already doing it, but like the World Series, they have the different brackets, the majors, mid-majors, gold, and then drops down to silver. And I know that you kind of do the same thing with the St. Louis tournament. We went out there last year. So I was just curious that you guys are pushing 35 teams now, how you guys are going to break that down. Are you guys going to use the PS stuff? Is it just going to be pool play to determine all that stuff?
Well, I kind of just touched on it a little bit, but I would say, you know, right now I think we got 33 teams on the list, and I anticipate some of those teams dropping off just based on running tournaments for years, and I know at the, you know, teams eventually they're on the list, and a few of them will fall off. So I anticipate a few more teams falling off. We may end up with about 30. It all depends on the final number. Let's say we end up getting another 6 and we end up with 39. My thought is we probably will split it we'll do a pool play, and then the results will split you into it'll be predetermined 2 brackets, major and a gold. My thought is if we get closer in the upper 20s or somewhere in the 20s, we're going to do one big bracket with a drop down bracket. For instance, if we have 29 teams, you do pool play, you get seeded into a 29 team bracket, and then the first 13 teams eliminated from the 29 team bracket would then move to a drop down bracket and then play their own double elimination bracket with prizes and everything else, similar to how I've done it in St. Louis. And it seems to work out good when I do it there, and it seems to be great competition and people have a great time in that bracket. But yeah, that's, like I said, right now it's kind of up in the air. It's everything's going to be determined by the number of teams that we end up with, and hopefully by Sunday we have a concrete number that we can say, okay, this is what we're going to do when we have our podcast on Sunday.
Cool, right on. Yeah, no, I don't have experience with the San Antonio tournament. We'd like to make that one year. But I enjoyed the way that you ran St. Louis. I mean, when you have a team like us flying out of California and getting to play 7 games, and I mean, not like we won a lot of games playing major teams, but I think that it was well worth the money, obviously, and I think that's the idea. Everybody, you know, nobody's really played a lot this year. I know out in California we haven't played at all. Last tournament we played in was March, so I mean, we're just looking to play as much as possible, really. Yeah,
and I think the either way that we do this, no matter what the amount of teams, we're going to try to make this a 5-game guarantee, so that the teams that are making the trip and putting in the time, the money, and stuff like that, it's going to be worth their time and money.
Yeah, and I know that you may not have been able to because John was out with his guys, or hitting some softballs practicing. Dan McIntyre from Dynamac, he is offering to be able to have prizes for the silver division also. So it's cool, man, to be able to know that you're coming up here. You may get teamed up against some guys, but that may be in the upper division here and there or whatever. But if you just happen to come up here and maybe you're just not on your game, maybe you don't have everybody, but you still wanted to come down, it's cool to have that silver division, and more importantly, to be able to have some prizes for that division. So
Yeah, right on, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate the call in and appreciate the question there, John. I'm sure everyone wants to know about that. So that's something that hopefully we'll have a better answer for you on Sunday.
Cool. I'll tune in on Sunday, and I appreciate you guys putting this on and try to make this happen for everybody.
Yeah, brother. Thank you very much for the calling, man.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks, John.
All right.
You know, one of the things is Metro Dogs 8 says, one more question, just one bracket, majors, gold. And like Joe touched on, I mean, that's one of the things we talked about when we started putting this thing on was like, look, if we have a certain amount of teams, we're definitely going with the round robin. Everybody gets their games in, turn around the next day, double elimination, worst case scenario, we're going to a silver division, you know, and that's kind of how we thought about doing it. But there was a threshold that we said, hey, man, if we get above a certain amount of teams, we really can do this in a little bit more of a format like the World Series where we can take a look, take people's, like, you know, let's just say we take 4 or 5 guys' opinions and say, hey, look, this is our bracket. This is what we're thinking. What are your thoughts? And just try to, as best we can, position these teams. But, you know, like Joe said, it's all going to be about who answers up as quickly as possible and to be able to let us know that they're interested or not. So,
yeah, if we get closer to 20 teams, we're probably Metro Dogs 8 is basically, you know, if we get closer to 20 teams, we'll probably do one bracket with a drop down. If we get closer to 40 teams, we'll probably split it to a predetermined major and gold. I think that's our thought at this point. But like Trini just said, we just need to get people to give us a call, let us know if they're in, they're out, if they're going to pay. Obviously they'd be in. So either pay, let us know you're in or out, hopefully by the end of the weekend. So we got a concrete number we can move forward with how the bracket's going to play out.
Yep. And real quickly, what we're going to do is, Terry, if you're listening, we're going to flash a number on the comments. If you got an opportunity, Terry, call me real quickly. We'll go into that. I'm not going to put it up on the screen. I'm going to let you talk about it real quickly, and then we'll move on. But because we got a few more things to do, but I'd like to be able to help you out with this, Terry. So we're going to put this number out there. This is the number for future reference if you want to call into the show. If you want to call in, please ask your question on the comment section first, and then that way we can tell you, all right, hey, go ahead and call in. Because if not, I start getting a bunch of calls and I can't sift through all of them. You know, we're not ESPN or anything like we talked about before. So. Terry,
one other thing, Trini, just to clarify something, because maybe somebody hasn't played in a tournament that has a drop down bracket. And that drop down bracket ultimately makes it, you know, an uppers and a lowers tournament, because you're going to have 13 teams that drop down to a drop down bracket. That's going to be your lower bracket. And then you're going to have 16, like the example I gave earlier with 2019 bracket, and you're going to have 16 teams that move forward in the major bracket. And then you're going to have the 13 that start their own double elimination bracket in the lowers. So for those that haven't played in that, that's ultimately what that is. So either way, there's going to be an upper, there's going to be a lower bracket. How that's going to work out, we'll figure that out this weekend.
Yep. Good. That's the way it should be. Hey, Dan, put that other hat. I'm going to take you off the screen. Put the other hat back on. I'm going to let you do that. And hopefully Terry will be able to call in here in just a second. So I love that dude. And so check this out. Terry says, call. Your phone is on. Now, if you call that number, Terry, you'll get through to me. Call in. Just try that. It'll get through.
Pony Express.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's how I know Dan right there. With that hat, but no shirt on. That's the Dan McIntyre I know. Extremely proud.
Dad bod.
I love it. But hey, Dan, going back to you, I know Terry's going to call in here in just a second. You're coming down. I know you didn't have enough time to work the trailer out, but I know you said you'd want to bring it back in. These hats are cool. These are his backup hats. Uh-oh, here he is. All right, hold on just a second. All right, Terry, you there?
Yeah, man. What's up, man?
That's what I'm talking about. I love that voice, man. You know what? That's Terry's voice and no one else's voice. There are a lot of people that can.
Voice. My message is tied to game. That's the happy voice.
Thanks for the update, Terry.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'll tell you what. I'm going to throw this on the screen right now. He says, guys, I'm overloaded with Texas orange turfs. And that's UT colors right there. It's a Texas tourney, 12 pair for upper and lower. Oh, shit. I didn't read that part. 12 pair for upper and, oh, man, Terry, that is badass. 12 pair for upper and lower for prize package. Trini, buy me some balls.
These are New Balance turf.
Oh, man, that is sweet, man.
But Dan will tell you, these Texas Orange ain't been selling anywhere else, probably but Texas. So.
Or Chicago Metro.
Yeah.
We appreciate that, Terry. That's awesome, man.
I'll tell you what, man. This is badass, man. I'm so excited about this because it, throughout this process, we've had some interesting conversations, some interesting things that have come up, and sometimes it can, with other things that are going on. Joe's trying to put on a golf tournament, here, and he's scrambling to make things happen because he's dedicating time to this. I've got my franchises. This isn't a pity party. This isn't any of that. This is just simply saying that it's people like Dan, Terry, these guys that are willing, Shock, with Garrett metal detectors. I mean, all these people that are willing to step up and say, we know what you're doing. We know what you're going through. 30 days to make this happen. How can I help? Badass, Terry. Thank you so much. It doesn't surprise me, but it makes me feel so good about what it is I'm in this for. It's for shit like this.
See all the teams signing up. Make this an annual thing, man. Stretch the season out a little bit. You'll do good.
Yeah, I believe so. And we are talking about that, man, especially maybe even doing it with the conference so that people that come to the conference can turn right around and have their softball tournament right afterwards. But I'll tell you what, man, that's awesome. And I know I saw something about some more shoes. Y'all have more shoes, right, that you got going on?
Yeah. I've got, even though I closed the store down, I'm keeping my New Balance contract open because it's a good seller. But but this year is just brutal for and I don't care what retailer you are, it's just brutal. But because all the fields are closed. But my New Balance, I'm sitting on a ton of New Balance shirts, and so anybody needs shirts, just give me a call. $50 ship for 2020 shirts or 2019. I forget what I put down there. 35 ship. I got 2 colors, but just contact me, Brawny from California, or Johnny Irvin. And AJ Jenkins from Cali too. But anybody on our team will help you out too.
If we can get that link, if you can put that link in the comment section, then we'll make sure we include it in the details. But I'll take an 11.5, just so you know. Yeah. So I'm down. All right, man. Hey, man.
I'm gonna have to send these. I'm flying, obviously. I'm gonna have to send these out there a little earlier to you. Okay, all these shoes. All right?
Yeah. That'll work. Yeah, man.
Or I could just mail them after whoever wins, and they can.
Yeah, I think that, man. Whatever's easiest for you, dude. Don't do anything hard. As far as, man, it's easy enough to just say, everybody knows you. Everybody knows your word.
As you know, people buy when they see them in their hands. So I'll send it the Texas Orange ones out to you, and then you'll have them right there. With you, and that way, there'll be no scrambling.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. I don't know if you can see the screen, but it said John Irvin goes, dirty Jersey boys would have bought those Texas Orange turfs.
Yeah.
That's their old colors.
TJ Daniker says the Jersey boys would have, but they bought too much juice in Cincinnati. Hey, man, Terry, thank you so much for calling in, man, and thank you so much for the support, brother. We appreciate you. We'll put that link in the details, okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right, brother. Thank you, man. See, that's cool stuff right there, man. And Stu says it right here. He goes, this is what makes the circuit, the brotherhood, and everyone supports everyone else. This would never happen outside the PS circuit. It's true, man. It's true. And it's such a great feeling. I call Joe up, he's my friend, and I call him up and we talk, and it's things like this that just give you that shot in the arm that make you go, all right, let's keep going, let's make this happen, and so it's just, I'm really happy tonight, man. Y'all have made me really happy. Let's see real quickly. Dan Potter says, what kind of umpires will you be using?
We got little league umpires coming out. They were the cheapest option for us, so that's what we're going to be using. Now we got the U-Trip umpires. I mentioned that last episode, I think, where I was in touch with the North Texas U-Trip director, and he's hooking us up with some of the best U-Trip umpires in Dallas.
With the exception of Dan Potter, who said, "I will come down."
Yes, he did say that.
Dan, I don't know, Dan, if you're able to still work that out, but can I throw something out there? Dan's tuning in on YouTube. Y'all see that little YouTube sign there? You really can help me out, man, and really get more information if you just go through that YouTube app, and that way you can watch us. I need watch hours. I need subscribers. There's a certain amount of watch hours and subscribers to be able to make this channel like that and go live. So I want to live stream from our tournaments, man. If I can go to tournaments and live stream and do interviews like I intend to do in Waxahachie, I have a very short amount of time to get 500 subscribers. I need 500 subscribers. So you have to be able to share our YouTube channel with people and to be able to, to make that happen. Let's see here. Dan Potter says, here's Terry's info for the Terps. All right, he's got it on there. 1,000 subscribers. That's what I need. And I'm about 500 away, I think. So y'all can help me make that happen. All right, so we're going to, let's see. Dan, what do we have with you, Dan? Oh, I know what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the hotels real quick. So we had the Fairfield Inn as a host hotel because they were the closest. They were like 5 minutes away, and right across the street was a Hampton Inn. Well, the hotel, we told them, you're going to sell out. Now, can you go to the other one? Okay, there's Fairfield. Fairfield is sold out. We did that in like 3 days. The Hampton Inn, from what I understand, somebody called and they said they were sold out, but I think that right now that's what we're looking at. So although they have all these rooms on the 6th and the 7th, in the inn, on the 8th, they have 18 rooms. So really, there's only about 18 rooms. I mean, nobody's going to want to get up and move. So you're going to want to call the Hampton Inn and Suites in Waxahachie, Texas. Or I think we can post that link as of 3 p.m. That's the information we had. We will start to work on trying to find a different hotel, but those are the two that were the closest. But there are a lot of hotels close by. Oh, we're actually looking at the sister property. Here we go. It's no room rate yet, but we're working on it as far as a block of rooms. But this is a sister property. So the Courtyard by Marriott, it's 10 minutes from Waxahachie, from the fields. The rate's a little higher, but again, we're in talks with them to be able to try to get that room rate, as far as a block room rate. So I think once we tell them what we've done with the other two, I'm pretty sure they're going to, lower their rates for our block, so we'll have to see how that goes. And the 105, the differences is, what was it? I'm not sure, Deanna, what the differences were, but I want to say that it was like maybe midweek. Let's see, BEP. I don't know what that means.
Well, Dave Trini, just to mention one other thing, and I think I mentioned it before, but I don't have the names in front of me right now, but I did search some nearby hotels, and they were within 15 minutes driving. And I looked at the government rates, and there was a few hotels that were $90 to $95 a night, getting the government rate. So if guys can't get one of those rooms at the discounted rates at one of the host hotels, there are some. If you just Google search the hotels within 15 minutes that have decent government rates.
That's good. So I would myself. I mean, you could, Deanna. I told Deanna she can come on and explain it, and she blacked herself out. She doesn't want to be on the screen. What I will tell you is that it says right here, it says book the Courtyard at Midlothian already. Maybe they can hook it up. Yeah, so that's what I think. I mean, if it was me, it's close enough to the fields. I know it's nice. And I know that if there's availability, I know I would take a chance, make a room reservation. We'll talk to them. If we can get a block of rooms, then we'll pass that savings on to you guys. And just real quickly, Dan Potter says, I'm still working on it. So hopefully we can get Dan out here. Jonathan says, please get Dan there. He has been bugging me for weeks.
Carlos needs to swing by and pick him up on his way here. That'd be a good. Dan needs to hop on in the truck with him.
Yeah.
Hitching a ride.
Well, real quickly, I'm going to tell you about Waxahachie. Just real quickly, there's a place I stayed at. I'll tell you this, man. There's 3 rooms available for the amount of time that you're going to want to be there. I'm going to show you this video clip. You need to jump on it if you decide you want to stay there. Me and my wife stayed there, and I thought it was really neat. So check this video out. All right, so we're here in Waxahachie. Just finished a softball tournament, and after a dinner, coming to the English Merchants Inn. It's a really unique place because it's a house in a historic neighborhood here in Waxahachie. This place has pretty cool rooms that you can stay in. Very unique in its setting, and I'll let you take a look. One of the things I love is just unique places to eat, unique places to stay. This is the English Merchant. Kind of reminds me just a little bit of like the Shining environment. Really neat. Oh, can't see this. See if I can hit a light in here so we can turn it on. Maybe not. But now we're gonna head up to our room. I was scared. Do you hear the creaking on the floors? Oh my God. I'm telling you right now, man.
Awesome.
It is really neat. The rooms are decorated, really uniquely. And here's the other part. You get free breakfast, whatever you want, at this coffee shop called the White Rhino. Check this video out. Yeah, man. So it was pretty neat. But there's only 3 rooms left for the span of the tournament. Call them up, man. Let them know you're with us. And I think it's a pretty unique place to stay. So I know we're approaching, 5 minutes over our time. So,
hey, Trini, can I say a couple things?
Yes, sir.
First, Dan's watching right now, and I just noticed on the message board he made a post trying to get to Texas Post. He's doing a bat raffle, a Blue Line Helmer, Easton, and selling spots, trying to offset some of his costs to get to Texas. So if you guys are wanting to hop in that bat raffle to help Dan out, there's 25 spots in the raffle. Looks like it's $20 a number. If you're interested in that, for a chance at winning a Blue Line Helmer.
Dan, to get you here, I'll take 3 of them. So put me down. If there's an 11 available, I'd like to take 11. But if 11's not available, it doesn't matter. I'll take 3 of them. I'd love to have you down. So I'll make that happen. And we need to know, Dan, put your link on there, please, if you don't mind, in the chat, so that way people can get to you. Okay, we're going to get Dan down here. We really want him. Oh, and we're going to talk about how to register. So we got Dan McIntyre with us. You know how much he does for not only his department for Special Olympics, but for us in the circuit. Here's how you're going to register. Okay, now, has anybody, Joe, sent you registration information yet?
Nobody.
Okay.
I told them kind of to stand by and just wait till we announce the how we're going to do it.
Okay, so the number one thing is send your payment in. That way we know you're confirmed. But Dan, will you mind running us through, as Deanna brings up the screen, on the Dynamac Sports Gear website? This is where you're going to have to go to register. And I'm going to let Dan go ahead and take it from here. And Deanna's going to try to stay with him.
All right.
Go a little for her.
I suggest that, and actually I recommend everyone uses their computer for this and not your cell phones, just because of the formatting once we get to the form. So what you're going to do is you're going to go over to organizations and just scroll down and you'll see registration. Once you click on registration, it brings up the registration form. There's a note underneath the bolded Keepers of the Peace registration form that says, please complete the roster accurately. All fields are required to be considered complete. If you'd like to purchase a tournament t-shirt, please complete that section next to the player's name. So we will be putting together tournament t-shirts, and the reason we're putting the size on here is so we can get an idea of who wants what sizes, so we can make those. Due to the fact that we're under less than 2 weeks now, 2.5 weeks, it'll really help out for that. So going back to the form.
Can I really make something clear to everybody? Sure. This, when you fill out your shirt size, it does not guarantee you. It does not guarantee you. Damn. It does not guarantee you're going to get that shirt. I want to make that very clear. And this is why I say you don't get this on the message thread. You have to tune in, and please share this with your teammates and everything else. Because when we throw our tournament in Texas, I like to use this registration. You know, this is how I'm going to communicate. It's the best way I can do it. You are not guaranteed your shirt. This is just to give Dan an opportunity to realize what do I need to print, so he doesn't waste any money on printing and stuff like that. So my suggestion is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, but when you get there, you can register at any point. You get there early, you register, whatever. Go get your shirt. Visit Dan's table, whatever. Get your shirt then, so that way somebody else who's who's a XXX size doesn't get your shirt. So get there first, get there early, grab your shirt. This does not guarantee you your shirt. You got to get there early to get it. It's just giving them an opportunity to know what to print. Correct?
Absolutely. And it's just, again, so I'm not printing 15 smalls and nobody wants a small shirt, and then I end up donating those to Goodwill.
Gotcha.
But if we scroll back up, Deanna, to the top of the form. Okay, so manager name, that has to be the person that's going to be responsible for the team. And talking with Joe and Trini on this, if something happens, you're the person we're coming to, or the tournament directors are coming to, excuse me. If there's something that happens with the roster, if something happens with a ball gate, you're the person we're going to speak to in that regard. Or actually, I should say the tournament director, excuse me. I only have the form up here. The address for that manager is also being requested on there as well. And then an email and a phone number for that person. So if it's me, it's my email, my phone number, the team name. Now, the player roster is just below that. If you look all the way to the right after shirt size, there's a little plus sign. You will click that to add extra players. Don't worry about the formatting here. Once this prints out, it prints it out like a nice Excel spreadsheet. Due to where the form's at on here, it does condense the form itself. Once you get done adding all the information, name, the state where that player is from, what agency they work for, their badge number, unit phone number. So what the unit phone number is, their unit of assignment, not just their police department basic line, but their unit of assignment. If they're a detective, the detective line to get a hold of somebody in case there is a question about anything. And again, this was added in not too long ago as something to help verify if necessary. And then again, the shirt size is only if you are going to want a shirt, just to give me an idea of how many to print. Pretty self-explanatory. Once you're done, hit submit. That will send an email to Joe and Trini and myself. If for some reason you need to add a person after this has been submitted, you can get a hold of Joe or Trini, and I can add that into the form on the back end of the website. One more field I'll be putting in as soon as we get off this podcast is a designation for which division you would like to be placed in, whether that be major or gold. Now, a team like DA Combo, if you request gold, I'm sure Trini and Joe are going to look at that and probably not allow that. But again, wherever you feel your team should be.
If you guys put down major or gold, that it all depends on how we're going to structure the tournament and how many teams we get. So that's just to kind of guide us in case that's the route we choose. And also another thing, make sure you get everybody who might be at the tournament. Let's say there's someone on the fence, make sure you put him on the roster, because if he shows up and he's not on the roster, he's not going to be allowed to play. So just make sure if you have any questionable guys that may show up, make sure you include them on the roster so there's no issues once the games start.
That's a good way to put that. Yeah, so just make sure it's all filled out correctly, guys.
Make sure you put that. Sorry, Dan. Make sure you put that number in there also, because the situation comes up and we need to verify somebody for some reason. I need to be able to have a number that somebody can say, yes, I work with this department. Yes, that person works for us. That's what I need. I don't anticipate that happening, but it's a great way to make sure that, we don't run into that issue later.
All right. So that being said, as soon as the podcast is over, I'll get that other field entered in off my desktop, because I don't have access right here on the laptop.
And Dan, if you want to hop on our thread and just add a link to your website for the registration, you know what I mean? Just so that people, if they get onto that thread, the tournament thread, they'd be able to see that, click on that, and then go register. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll take care of that as soon as we get done with this podcast. Hey, John, I see your comment there. That's to be determined yet. We're not sure what type of shirt we're going to be printing on, whether it'll be cotton, a 50-50, or a tri-blend. Personally, I like to print the tri-blends.
I like the tri-blend.
You got to go try. You got to go try.
Anything that I'm involved in, I want it to be that top-notch thing. Not that I understand that people probably come to you and say, like, I don't want to spend that kind of money. So I understand why you're saying that. I'm letting you know right now, we got to do the tri-blend, man, because it doesn't matter what kind of design you come up with. It could be the baddest design, like the one that's on the TV right behind me, that Keepers of the Peace, Spartan mask deal. It could, there you go. It could be a badass design like that. Yet, if it's not a comfortable shirt, people don't want to wear it.
You never wear it.
Yeah, tri-blend's the way to go. They run a little small, but they're great shirts. I wear all the time. I wear those tournament shirts that Dan makes.
Dan,
boy, Danny.
Hey, Trini, do we want to touch on the provided bats real quick?
Yes, absolutely.
So, just so everyone's aware, we've been advertising provided bats. We're going to have provided bats. Carlos Vega is going to be providing.
I'm talking about Carlos.
He's going to be providing the bats for not only. There they are right there. The white onyx El Presidente bats. They're going to be on each field. There will be different sizes. He's going to be providing those for the tournament, as well as which we've already mentioned. The winning teams from both divisions will be getting 12 bats each, new bats each, not the used ones. So, but he will be also providing bats for the tournament. So that's.
Man, you think about that. I'm telling you right now, man. I've been playing ball for a while. You rarely see where two divisions gets bats. Champions in two divisions. It's freaking crazy, man.
That's an awesome prize.
Those dudes over there are kicking ass, and they're coming through for us, man. That's badass. Everybody, man. Dynamac, we're talking about Terry, we're talking about Los. I mean, it's freaking crazy, man. I love it. This
prize package is shipping up to be pretty good. You got 12 bats, you got 12 jerseys, 12 pairs of orange cleats.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty solid,
crazy, man.
It's coming together, so which is nice.
So, okay, one more thing is, how about the seating? Because I know we talked about that earlier, and somebody had mentioned something about run differential, run score, and then they brought up another tournament that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that was a question that was brought up on the message board, and which I answered. I meant to hold off and answer on the show, but I went ahead and answered it anyway on the thread. But I was going to touch on that, and basically the question was, the World Series does record, run differential, runs allowed, then runs scored, then coin flip. We're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to do record, runs allowed, then run differential. So flip flop, runs allowed, and run differential, and that's all included in the on the first post of that thread where I put all the rules and stuff.
Can you bring that question up?
My thought process.
Here it is. That was a question. What rules for seeding do we use in the World Series? I think run differential would be first, then run scored. After all of this is an offensive game. Also, I know there was some confusion with the umpires. Well, we didn't want to, as well as who was home team when we got to the bracket ball. Just don't see why we would do a coin flip. I would think top seed would be home. If not, pool play doesn't mean as much. Just opinions. End of the day, just can't wait to play somewhere different. So that was a comment that was made, and that's where you're going with this.
Yeah. So my response basically was, while the World Series did do run differential before runs allowed, I think this gives the more well-rounded teams, it shows off the more well-rounded teams. I guess it helps them out because you got to, basically defense. While you probably there's a lot of great teams that hit out there, but you also the teams that are great at both hitting and defense. This kind of rewards them a little bit when you look at runs allowed over run differential in my eyes. And I use that for my tournament. I played in other tournaments that use that seating order, and it's worked out fine. To hit that second half, my answer to the second half basically was there was some confusion in Anne Arundel, and that all stemmed from the message board rules that were written and posted were different than the rules that were being used once the tournament started. So that was the only reason there was confusion there. But once it was set, and it was fine. But while the pool play maybe doesn't mean as much, it still means something because like I mentioned on the thread is, you still don't want to go 0-2 and face DEA Combo or Great Lakes the way they've been playing this year. So it does mean something, the pool play. And while it maybe doesn't mean as much because the top seed's not going to be being home team, it's still there is meaning behind it, with the way that we're going to be playing it out. So the coin flip, and that's actually the way that the World Series does it. They do coin flip. I've done that at my tournament as well, but that's the way the World Series does it. Coin flip every game except for the championship games in both brackets where the undefeated team gets the choice. And then if it goes to an F game, you go back to the coin flip.
I love it when you're zeroed in like that, Joe. I love it.
Focused.
He's zeroed in right now. He is in tournament freaking master planner, scheduler, everything mode. It's awesome, man. Hey, got another question also. Hold on. Dan says almost every team can hit. Some people just hit into double plays. Let's bring up this other question real quick so we can get to it because I know we're running a little bit long. Trini, I was wondering, is there some sort of flyer for this tourney in Dallas? Sponsor would like to have one put with this paperwork. So I think this is a great question. And I'll tell you that we will have something that if you need something for your sponsor or something like that, it's nothing that's going to be, crazy. But I think that they'll get a good feel for, what they're donating to. And more importantly, they're able to use that for their donation purposes. So
and I've actually talked to him, and he said everything. He just needed some details, and so I directed him to the first post of the thread. And once he got those details from the first post of the thread, that's all he needed.
Okay, cool. So there you go.
To give to his sponsor. So
Dan is happy with that.
Everything worked out.
Everybody goes to the first thread of our Keepers of the Peace National Softball Championship. If you print that, that'll more than likely work for your deal.
Yeah, if all the team managers, if they also want to just print that out so they got a copy of the rules when they show up, that's probably a good thing, because that's where we're going to be posting all the rules and eligibility and everything else. If anyone has a question and there's a rule that's not listed on there, give us a shout. Let us know.
Cool. Deanna, anything else? Am I missing anything? Ooh, I will try and have coins and patches. Come find Stanislaus to trade. Kyle Briggs. So I'm talking about, usually people want to trade patches, coins, all that kind of stuff. Dan's coming up with something cool. You want to do? I don't know. You don't have to talk about it. Or you can.
Briggs, do me a favor. Put one aside for me. I'll have a nice Woodridge PD coin for you. Last year I got into to manufacturing coins as well, just because it's something that I think they're cool. But I will be making a tournament coin, which I'll show you the back of it, but we'll leave the front to your imagination. So here's the back of the coin. We're going to use the St. Michael, which I had this cut 3D in the back. So that's going to be something I'll be bringing down there, along with the For the Fallen jersey that I print every year, which benefits a police officer. This year was off the circuit. It was an old academy instructor of mine that had his leg amputated. Actually, in Chicago tournament, I wrote him a check and handed that to him. But I'll have plenty of those kind of things to, no hats, because I'm going to leave that up to Los to sell his stuff. I'm just going to bring my police-oriented Dynamax stuff along with some coins. So
I'm personally looking forward to the coins. It's going to be badass, because I know you're I think it's a great time now to introduce but talk about the Keepers of the Peace Conference. It's going to be really quickly. We're going to throw it up there. This conference is happening April 12th through the 14th in 2021 in San Antonio, Texas. I'm asking you guys right now to please spread this within your departments. I promise you that the guys that are going to come to this conference will not walk out the same way they walked in. It's a badass conference with badass breakout sessions. So we're going to have a bunch of type A personality stuff going on, but we're also going to have great things like if you ever wanted to start a business, we have first responders who have started businesses that are going to be able to teach you about the things you need to know. They've walked in your shoes and now they're able to share with you how they did it. We're talking about, finances. There's investments. I mean, man, there's just so many. I've never been to a conference like the one that we're putting on. I've been to a shitload of conferences. This is going to be really neat. It's going to be great. We also are going to have paperwork that somebody contacted us today and said, hey, I'd like to get my department to be able to cover this. Is there anything that you have that I can present to them? Yes, we do. So we will have some sort of we've already have it typed out. You'll be able to take that to your department and it will make sense to them for them to be able to have you attend the conference. So we got Hoist Gracie that's going to be on our show here soon, this podcast. It's another reason why you want to be. If you don't know that dude, what's wrong with you, man? You got to get on YouTube. Like I said, subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're going to be making a transition soon from Facebook to YouTube. So you might as well make that move now. But we have Hoist Grace. It's going to be on the show. If this Bellator contract does not conflict, which he does not believe it will, he will be there and he'll be hosting a jiu-jitsu seminar specifically for our tournament or for our conference. We've got the SAPD competition team that's going to be having a workout and shoot with the competition team. That's cool. We're going to have a really cool run. It's a 5K run, not a race, a 5K run. And what we're doing is if you want to pay homage to your department for the officers that have fallen and you want to, show your appreciation for their service and their sacrifice, we're going to have all these first responders. And this dude's, he's not only is he badass at all these race coordination type things, but he's also a ex-military. He's a veteran. He's heading it up. We have first responders that are going to put it on. And it's going to be so cool, man. You're going to see firemen, military, police, EMS, whatever uniform you wear it out to this run, and it's going to be a sight. And I have all these choices that I can make on what I'm going to attend. That's the one I'm going to attend. I will be there on our breakout session for that one. So I promise you, man, it's going to be such a great conference. So don't forget that conference. Let's see here. Stu says, if we aren't going, how can we get coins and fallen jersey? Dan?
Well, what I can do is once I get the coins manufactured, get some good photos of both sides of them, because the front side still has to be done on these. As I finalize that with Trini, I'll put those up on the website under the organization's Keepers of the Peace tournament, and that way you guys will be able to get on there and get them, and I'll just ship them out to you.
Very cool. All right, so let's see here. TJ Daniker says, I will have some patches as well. Come find me, Mid-Atlantic. Oh, man, bring patches. I love the patches, man. I got New York I got all kinds of patches. So cool. Stu hooked me up with some cool patches. And Stu, I'll have yours at the tournament. Deanna, please don't forget that. I know we already have them, but I want to make sure I give him something special. All right, let's see. TJ Daniker, you willing to mail patches? Hey, man. Hook up. And then we got Jay-Z saying, that's why Joe's tourneys are successful. Agree or disagree, you will never get 100% agreement with the rules, seedings, bats, balls, etc. All this is clear, and Joe explains his reasoning. Absolutely. And Jay-Z, that's why I was so comfortable moving forward with this, because, Joe knows, Dan knows. I got a bunch of stuff going on right now, man, a bunch of investments. And they all take time, but I'm willing to do this. And that's what's cool is when Joe, Dan, Terry, Benji, all these dudes are willing to, now Dan, doing his thing. It's such a cool feeling to be able to know that you're in company of people who are like-minded. And when Joe said he would handle all this bracket stuff and everything, normally on my team, I have Manny and Eric. They're the ones that handle that for me. And so it was really cool to be able to have Joe step up and make this happen. So Joe, thank you very much. I truly appreciate it. Stu says, I haven't found a team yet. Still working on it.
Hey, Stu, there's 9 teams from California coming, man. I know one of them will need you. One of them must need another player. I can't imagine 9 teams coming. One of them can't use you.
Look at the size of that dude. If nothing else, just have him catch and stand in front of the home plate and let us figure out how to get past him. If nothing else.
I'll take a course from Hoist Gracie. You'll get by him.
All right. DM me, TJ says. And then Andy says, J-Mo is top golf. That's what I'm talking about. Look at him. It's going to be good, man. I'm so looking forward to this golf tournament. So, hey, I'll tell you what. Dan, anything left you want to be able to share real quickly?
No, we touched on everything. I'm looking forward to coming down there with my team, playing a competitive tourney, hanging out with all of our police softball brothers, and just having a competitive weekend. I appreciate you guys putting this on, and we'll look forward to being down there in a few weeks.
Very cool. Will you still have the stash?
Oh, yeah, I'll have it. Unless my wife shaves it off in my sleep.
Are you going to be shirtless?
It depends on how much.
Do it. If you don't do it, Dan, I'm telling you right now, dude, I'm going to
Is KY Blue coming down?
Huh?
Bring some of that special sauce.
KY Blue is not coming.
Oof.
There may be a couple of other players showing up on different teams that you may recognize, but as a team, they're not coming.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. What's really cool is, let's see, Deanna's saying how to pay. Oh, how to pay. People are wondering how to pay. Can we flash it up there? There you go. So you can send checks to me on Hildebrand, but you can also go through Venmo. And I don't know if we have the QR code. Do we have the QR code? No? Well, we're going to work that out.
I think it's posted on the message board. I think I put that on there in that the photo that you sent me.
Yeah. Yep, so, that works. So you can go to the message
up on the message board and look for it on there.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this, man, and for people that are wondering real quick that Dan says, Trini, will my friend Eric be there? He'll be there. Don't worry. Eric will be there. It's my boy. Brandon West says, can't wait, guys. And Softball by Frat says, sorry, I thought I was live, but I was 20 minutes behind. I'm going to have to rewatch the video. What I'll say is that, this has been a difficult experience because it's short time, but I love how everybody's understanding of what we're doing in a short amount of time. And I believe it's going to be such a successful event. I'm super happy. Again, I will leave you with this. We've had pretty much 31 people consistently here for the last hour and 15 minutes. It's pretty cool. Yep. And so I will share this with you. Everything that's happening right now is happening because we truly care about each one of you. And now we normally talk like this to the citizens, but from our perspective, it's because of you guys that are involved in our circuit. That's why we do what we do. And I'm not, I don't want to get into it too much. I'll just say that I am so honored to be involved with people who are stepping up and saying that they want to help. And then ultimately, everybody who's made the adjustments to make it to Waxahachie, Texas. Do we have that thing about Waxahachie? The little cover thing? Check this out. Who in the hell says I'm going to go to the crepe myrtle capital of the world and the gingerbread city? If you try to put this tournament on 8 months ago and people saw that, they'd be like, I'm not going there. But yet, it's happening because it's not about that. It's about the camaraderie. And that's cool, man. So thank you to everybody who's pitching in and to be able to make this thing happen. I really appreciate it. Dan, thank you so much, man. Make sure you go to the website. We should put the link in our details so that you can go there and register. Take a look at his stuff. Don't just go register. Take a look at what Dan has to offer. And ultimately, Dan, thank you so much, man. You're there for me in more ways than just this tournament. And I appreciate it, man. I love our hats. Very happy to have one. Hopefully Joe gets one.
Joe will get one.
Do you have those sizes? Or do you have to put?
I don't know what size he needs.
And then
double X, 3X. You got one of those? Flex fit.
Velcro. Snapback.
Velcro. Dan.
All right, boys. You guys have a good night. I'm off to bed. I got work in about 8 hours.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. We appreciate it, man. Dan says, for the short period of time putting this together, it's coming along great. Cool. Thank you, Dan. We appreciate it. Looking forward to you being here. Joe, last words?
I just everyone out there, just stay safe, stay vigilant. A lot of people out to get us lately, and watch each other's backs while you're out there working.
Yeah, man. All right, Joe. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for making the time to be here. I know you're working.
All right, bud.
All right, man. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you got any questions, please send them our way. We'll include it on the next podcast. We'll talk about it. And don't forget the feature of being able to call in. You can call in, ask us questions, and then we'll have that interaction going on. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Trinidad, don't forget, go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, share it. Get me to 1,000 subscribers, man. I need it. I need 1,000 subscribers. And then we can make things happen. All right. Thank you so much. Trinidad signing off. Don't forget, I got you 6.